Hi, I'm Kelly.
And hi, I'm Geoff.
And this is Blueprints for Belonging, where we're exploring how to build conscious connection in a disconnected world.
Because belonging doesn't happen by accident, it happens by design.
Welcome to Blueprints for Belonging. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different because we're turning the microphones toward ourselves today. And we realize that before we keep diving into how to build connection in the world, we should take a moment to look at where our blueprints have come from, what shaped us, why we started this podcast, and what's belonging really mean to each of us.
Yeah, we spent so much time asking our guests about their stories and insights that we thought, wait a second, maybe we should ask ourselves the same questions. Maybe so. This isn't just background or credentials. No, it's not just about that stuff. It's about understanding our own motivations and hopes for what we are building together.
Right. So think of this as kind of a reflective pause, back to the scenes conversation about how this works for us, or how this work found us, our friendship, our collaboration, how it began, and what keeps us committed to helping others build belonging in their own lives.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah, let's go.
Go. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Kelly's going to go first, so
Okay.
I'm going to be
Ladies
asking
first.
her question. That's right, ladies first. Okay. What does belonging feel like in your body?
It feels like a warm hug. It's just this wonderful, comfortable space and place to be when you know that you belong someplace. It's just this comfort. I have places here in Houston that it's like they're so happy to see you. You know, they haven't seen you in a while, and it just really feels connecting, warm, wonderful. You haven't seen them, and sometimes you just want to stay there because it just feels so comfortable.
Yeah, it's warm and comfy.
How about you? How do you define belonging for an architect? Kind of like,
Well, as an architect, oh boy, this is what drove me out of architecture.
Uh-oh.
So, in the world of architecture that I know, there are two types of firms. There are the firms that are very team-oriented, and you get to work on every aspect of every project, and you are definitely part of a team. And then there are those firms that isolate each team member into a different category,
Space,
a different type of work. And so, there's those that get to do design, and then there's those that get to do design development, and those that do construction documents, and those that get to do construction administration. And no one person gets to work on all of it. So it's not, and they might say, oh, well, it's still a team environment. No, it's different. It's because
The work is different.
the work is different. You're only doing part of it. And part of that belonging feeling is being in an environment where you get to work on everything, and you're always collaborating with your teammates. Yeah, I love that. But that's not the last job I had.
Teams are fun. That's kind of what another little part here. That's really how Geoff and I got started, was that we really wanted to build a little bit more about team building in the corporate world. And one of the things we noticed about team building was that it was communication skills. And so that's kind of the other part that we've been wanting to help people do, is to build this connection in a way that supports each other, yet helping them with these communication skills, because we really don't get taught that much about how to work through conflict, other than that person's wrong and blame them and shame them and,
Right.
make their life miserable because they don't want to do what you want them to do.
Right.
So,
Yeah. We wanted to teach team building to corporations. And that's how we got on this path, was we were like, oh, let's do a podcast.
Right, because let's just share with them what we want them to know about.
Right. And we can point to it if people don't know what we're talking about, so they can listen to it themselves and figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. Because we started working on the workshop first, and then we launched into the podcast, and here we are.
Helping people build those skills, one podcast at a time.
That's right. See those memetics. Unpick all that stuff. Very cool. All right. Well, Kelly, when in your life did you first realize what it feels like not to belong?
That was in Waco, Texas in 1969. And my dad had just got out of the military, and because being a military kid, we went all over the world, and I learned how to belong pretty quickly. That was introduce yourself and find things that you can share in common with each other. And there were these two twin sisters that did not like me because they did not like my curly hair. And so they made it really clear that I did not belong and started to pick fights with me all the time, especially after school. And their younger brother came to my defense and started walking me home, and it was really nice, and they got in trouble. And so, yeah, but that was the first
Sounds
place
like they had it coming.
Oh, I don't know.
Being bullies and stuff.
Yeah, they were being bullies back then. Well, for you, how does your design, or to facilitate, how do you create that sense of inclusion in the space itself?
Well, I can't take credit for this. I learned this from Brooke.
Okay.
Who we talked to last week. Y'all know Brooke, right? And it has to do with the agreements that she spoke about. And I'm responding to how I facilitate, not necessarily how I design, because I don't really do that anymore. Not in that way. So the biggest one, in fact, I heard that today in a healing circle that I was in. I went to a Healing Circles Global meeting, and someone chimed in that the lack of advice given in that group, because of that item in the agreements, we do not presume to advise, fix, or there's another word, I forget what it is, advise, fix, or coerce one another into doing something. It's just not done. And she was so happy about that. She was like, this is what I really love about this group. I'm like, yes, that's it. And one of the other agreements is that we treat each other with respect. And we don't presume to fix or advise each other, and that we trust that silence is what we need to find the power within ourselves to heal ourselves, because that's where it comes from. We can heal ourselves. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I always think about being a kid and being told you have to answer this.
Right.
You have no choice, but you have to do these things. So.
Right. Well, unfortunately, that's the environment that we grow up in, right? And, we're well past that age now. And we finally figured out,
we don't have to.
We don't have to do that. No, we can do this instead, and we can ask ourselves what we really want to do. The beauty of being an adult. But that still took 30 years of architecture for me to figure it out and to quit working in that industry, which was killing me.
Well, all the things we find to educate ourselves through a lot of our experiences.
What we take away from
everything is our teacher, right?
Right, yep. Indeed. Wow. Well, how has your understanding of belonging evolved through your counseling and creative work?
Well, let's see. I became a counselor 20-something years ago, I'll give you a little bit more of it was not something that I thought I was going to do ever. I had a dream that I was on a farm and there were chickens and pigs and cows in a barn, and there was a weather vane on top of it, and I thought, how neat, I'm on a farm, and the weather vane has FARM. I thought, wow, that's really cool. Never thought about it that way. So I go to the front of the barn, and the acronym FARM was spelled out, Foundation for Addictive Recovery Through Meaning. And at the time, I had been studying a little bit about logotherapy and what that is, and that's Viktor Frankl's, what we call the Third Viennese School of Psychology, and it's about meaning. And so that has really helped me kind of understanding the world, that we are motivated by these things that are meaningful for us. And my creative work is really about exploring those things that are meaningful for us and sometimes the absence of that. So in my counseling is helping my clients really learn how to discover their own meaning and their own direction for their own life, not following somebody's prescripted life path that they were told that they should do, or that they have, they have awareness to themselves about the direction that they want to go, but they have a lot of people saying you can't do that because of this. So really trying to help them understand that maybe that's not the place where you belong. Maybe there's another place where you belong that you fit right in. So
Right.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
So I think you said something earlier about how you weren't even sure. So you became a counselor, and then you realized, and then you discovered NVC.
Oh, yeah. So I, when I was doing group treatment with my clients, I recognized that they lacked a lot of the communication skills that were necessary to have good relationships with each other. And then I found the book, Marshall Rosenberg's book, Nonviolent Communication, and I found somebody in Brenham, Texas. Her name was Bren Hart, and I called her, and she says, I'm coming to Houston. I'll come down and meet with you. And we talked all day long.
Wow.
And then I started a practice group here in Houston to help people learn how to connect with each other. So, yep, that's what happened. I'm
Very
really
cool.
helping them build those skills, because, we don't really teach a lot about how to have how to deal with conflict in our school systems. We just teach, you were bad, you did this wrong, you shouldn't do it that way. And so we don't really teach about how to get along with each other. We don't teach about curiosity. We teach that you're supposed to know what you're supposed to say, and you know how you're supposed to say it, and if you don't, then you must be a failure. So
Right.
just let curiosity take the direction.
Right.
So,
Take the wheel. Yeah. Wow.
so how about you? Is there any moment in your life where you kind of felt that you truly belonged? And what made it possible?
Yeah. This was a retreat, a We Practice Life retreat, actually. The first one that I went to. And I felt totally at home. I felt like I belonged. I love that group. That group of individuals was so much fun to be with, and it made me feel something that I hadn't felt in many years. And so that weekend that retreat was also the weekend for a camping party that a group of friends of mine and I used to go on every year. And I was doing this instead of that because I had given up that group. And that was hard. I did it. It took a couple of years, but I finally just said, no, I can't do this anymore. I'm not, because they're a nest of narcissists. And, it's like, that's why it felt like home, right? No, thank you. So that dichotomy, looking at that, it's like, I could be doing that, but I'm doing this instead, and this feels much better. Yeah. Yeah. So that was just a few years ago.
Wow. What spurred you to make that decision to go to that group?
To go to the retreat? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I had been following Brooke.
I know, but what made you the decision to go to see Brooke? How did you get to meet Brooke?
Oh, well, I met her at work. Mm-hmm. So we were both architects.
Right.
And yeah. And
so there was a bond.
I met her at work.
Right.
And we kept up. I befriend people at work, and I maintain friendships from work, from different offices for life. Usually women. So Brooke and I kept up, and I started really following what she was doing in 2017.
This is for Blueprints for Belonging.
Yeah.
Not Blueprints for Belonging, We Practice Life.
Right, and it wasn't called that at the time.
Right.
But she was hosting
her practice
little
groups,
meetups and practice groups. And so I was participating anytime she had something.
Right.
And by the time the retreat came along, I was heavily involved in We Practice Life. And she reached out to me. It's like, "Oh, we're doing this thing. You want to be part of it?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." And I facilitated a little practice in it during it.
So there was trust that was built because you had the relationship with her already, working at as an architect.
Yeah.
And then there was trust when she said to you, "Would you like to do this practice or do this little group?" She already trusted you.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Yeah, because I was a frequent flyer on her program. Yeah. I mean, every iteration, I was there for it. It's been a crazy journey for her, actually. Yeah. So, what happens when belonging? What happens to belonging when judgment enters the room?
It escapes. It escapes through the side door. It just does not want to stay around.
Right.
Because judgment kind of shifts the atmosphere. It tells people that you might have been safe, but now they're looking to measure you, how you're doing, and are you doing it right? Are you keeping up what we want you to keep up?
Right.
So, and our nervous system registers that pretty instantly. Your body tightens, your voice shrinks, your authenticity retreats. You can't be yourself where you thought that you could belong. It's being judged every moment that you're there. So to me, belonging thrives where curiosity is. And judgment thrives kind of on certainty. It has to be this way, and if it's not this way, you're the bad person because you didn't let it be that way.
Right.
So,
actually, would you say that judgment thrives on shame?
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
Blame and shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Belonging says you matter. Judgment says you matter more if you were different.
Right. If you did this, you would
instead.
Matter. Right.
So when judgment walks in, the conversation becomes a performance. And that's where people scan to be approved instead of instead of being corrected by everything. Like, have you ever been someplace and no, that's not how that goes. It goes this way, or you should have done it this way. You get corrected really quickly. So,
right.
Humor, imagination, and play, that's the real lifeblood of a real community. They're just trying to help you stay safe, So, but the opposite is also true. When somebody notices judgment and responds with empathy instead of defense, that's how belonging can regrow. So if we're using that empathic muscle to share, let's put it in your terms. Judgment is like a crack in the foundation. Because they didn't put down any, what did you call it? Rebarb.
Yeah, rebar within the slab.
Right.
Yeah.
So think of that rebarb as awareness and empathy.
Right.
Okay. If you don't put that in there, then it's going to crack.
Right.
So
Cool. I like that.
I thought you might like my little analogy.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you ever built something and part of it was missing? Have you ever built or been part of something where belonging was missing? And what did it feel like?
I've been part of something where belonging was missing. Yeah, I've never built anything where belonging was missing because I bring
You bring
belonging with me.
you, okay? So where were you that belonging was missing?
That was at Stantec. That was the firm that finally kicked me out in 2020. And I was so happy not to be there anymore. It was awful. Everybody was siloed into their type of work.
This is when you had to do the certain specific kinds of jobs.
Yeah. They took away the fun part of design and construction administration, which is watching it being built, and gave me the middle stuff. And
Not this kind of middle stuff.
No. Well, it was kind of a middle finger, actually.
Okay.
It was like you want to do everything? Well, you can go to hell. You can do this. Yeah. And all the architects got sandwiched into that. So we had to do, and I enjoyed detailing, which is part of the work. But doing the construction documents is only one part. And then there's the construction administration, and there's the RFIs and the ASIs. It's all paperwork, basically. So I got to handle all the paperwork of construction without actually going onto site and seeing it built and actually dealing with problems in situ. I love that stuff. And it gets really creative and really fun.
In situ is...
Oh, in situation. So
that's what I'm making sure.
On site, yeah.
That's what I'm making sure, right.
There's a problem, we resolve it right then and there. Well, we try to. You can't always do that, but if you can, it's great because contractors love that. Yeah. Firms that operate like that are not friendly. And the belonging just isn't. It's like I said in the beginning, those firms that operate like that, they're not about belonging. They're about product and getting it out.
I think that's a really good distinction to make, because when we make the relationship about the product, then we're missing the point.
Right, of the relationship.
Right. Because we don't know where it's going to go, but we're helping other people create and design something that's really meaningful for them. And I don't know, it's kind of hard when you're trying to create something for others and you're not really able to get to that emotional space because you're mad because somebody made you get this,
because you have to do the shit work,
right.
And you don't get to do the fun stuff anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And honestly, so I have 2 instances in my career where clients came back to the firm that I was working at because they wanted me on their next project. And both of those happened somewhere else. They did not happen at Stantec. No, because I was miserable. And people know when I'm unhappy.
Didn't you also leave the country and go to another... was Stantec and...
Stantec was post-London.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I went to London in 2007 and came back in 2013. And
is there a difference between the two?
There is, but it's not... I left London because I didn't like being an architect there. Yeah, because I wasn't viewed as an architect by so many, because my architecture license and training were both in the U.S., not in the U.K. And the system is set up against people like me to make sure you don't become a chartered architect. That's what they call you.
Oh, a chartered.
There it's called chartered architect. Here it's called licensed.
Got it.
But... And actually, I didn't like the way the industry was headed. So they have this thing called the design-build contract, which is nothing like the design-build contract here. It means that you end up with 2 design teams over the course of the project. The first design team gets it through the beginning stages, and then a second design team is in cahoots with the contractor. They're on the contractor's team, and so the entire design team is beholden to the contractor because they have tendered the project, so they bought it for a price.
Oh.
And the new design team that's on their team has to finish out the drawings in time for construction and then be there for the construction phase. But you're beholden to the contractor.
Sounds kind of like a conflict of interest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because the architect in a traditional contract is there for the client, and they're looking out for the client's best interest. As part of their design, this the client wants this, so yeah. So having and in a traditional contract, that team is on there the whole way, and there's continuity. And there were all sorts of problems with it. I mean, the clients would be saddled with a bill for redesigning stuff because the first team didn't really do a proper job. They didn't design it to code. And so we had to add a stair part of the building. Yeah.
There's a door. There's a door here.
Yeah. Right.
Where it wasn't supposed to be.
It's basic stuff. Yeah. And those designers, those people,
they're gone.
They were design houses, and so, we do design. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Yes, but it doesn't work. Yeah. And so
then you came back to the States.
And so then I came back to the States, and after a year of hemming and hawing about what should I do with my life, in 2012, I decided, okay, I'm going to go back to the States. I'm going to be an architect there. I looked at Chicago, but Chicago wasn't hiring in 2013, so I came back to Houston. And actually, I'm glad I did, because I got to meet you. I got to follow Brooke, because that wouldn't have happened if I was in Chicago. And yeah, I got to buy my house, which I love my house.
Wonderful. Yeah. You have a neat old house.
Thank you. Yeah, I love my house too.
It's probably built in what?
1935.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I get to ask you a question. How does creativity help people rediscover belonging?
Well, all right, so why we're talking about creativity in this part is because a lot of people like to think of me as an artist, and I use creativity in helping my clients as well, because creativity, as I see it, is a muscle we haven't really used. It's not designed for just the people that have talent or anything like that. It's everybody has creativity. It helps us problem solve. So I guess creativity allows us to have I don't know, it helps us rediscover belonging, because it kind of restores that bridge from ourselves to others through our expressions that we might have. When we use play, if you think about it, play is what's been absent from us, especially as adults. But kids get to have play, and what happens to kids when they don't get to play?
Oh, they get depressed.
They get depressed, sad, they start acting out. So adults do the same thing. So you think, but we're supposed to be working.
We get angry and pushy.
Right. So creativity is that reconnection back to ourselves. It's when you can just doodle, you can do anything to, it can be painting, singing, writing, dancing, whatever you want to do. It's some sort of a way of having, just sitting down with making, there's a guy, I can't think of his name right at the moment, but he started something called the ABCs of drawing. And he says everybody can draw a circle, a square, a triangle, and a line. And just doodle with those. Don't have to make anything. Don't have to make it with the name of something or a label of something. You can just start drawing just circles and squares and triangles and just doodle. And that's another fun way to just kind of reduce our own stress that we might be living with. But anyway, so kind of working with creativity kind of helps us celebrate life instead of making it this drudgery of, oh my God, I got to go to work.
Right.
But having something that's right, and having something that's fun. a place to play,
Mm-hmm.
something to do. So, did that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it did.
Okay.
Yeah, well done.
Okay.
But
But then you can also meet for belonging. You can also take a class in creativity and find some other places to belong, like take a class in drawing or painting and or cooking or writing or whatever. So all kinds of good places.
Yeah, and there are lots of little places that do that specifically. Like there's a Write Lab. And yeah, so there's plenty of opportunities out there.
So curious, what does shared structure mean to you? Especially like in relationships or communities?
Well, shared structure to me is synonymous with shared meaning, which is critical for relationships. So one of the first things we do when we meet somebody is we form shared meanings. We are talking to each other and we're getting what other people get, and we kind of we're like agreeing with each other. Okay, yeah. And that is like the foundation for friendships. So shared structure in the case of architecture is like a gymnasium or a library. Or a restaurant
kitchen.
or a kitchen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or a restaurant or, anything where you're in there with somebody else other than a private home, which you still might host a party. But if you don't, it's just a home with you in it. Yeah.
Thanks.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool.
I always thought about shared structures. Wasn't really sure about what that meant, but just to make sure.
Right. That's my definition of shared structure is a structure that is shared by multiple people. Offices.
Offices.
Most of the spaces we have are shared spaces.
But you know what? Those shared structures, even the offices, sometimes they're out in the open, and they don't really have the privacy that they need to deal with.
Yeah. And that's down to whoever designed it.
Right.
Again, those pesky architects.
I know.
I don't know what to do about them. Yeah. Open offices can be useful, but when you don't have enough breakout spaces, it's painful. Because you get people, case in point, I worked at a firm like this. It was a small firm. My voice was too loud for one of the people who worked there in that space. And we only had one conference room, no additional telephone room or anything.
So they sent you to the conference room?
Well, no,
Or that person
I couldn't always. Sometimes it's just be quiet. And I'm like, I'm talking in my whisper voice, but I'm sorry, I have a deep voice. I can't help it. I mean, even when I whisper here, if I whisper here, you can still hear me, right? Of course, I have a microphone to help you with that. But, yeah, you need to have enough of the right spaces. So if you're going to have an open plan office, you need to have additional spaces actually as part of that. That's just good architecture. So how do you recognize when someone feels unseen or disconnected?
That's a good one. I think mostly it's when people go quiet. They stop talking, their energy drops. They might be there with me, but they're far away.
Right.
They don't look. They avoid eye contact. They stop offering even ideas or opinions, and their body language closes, like they might cross their arms, or they turn away, or they get their phone out. That's one way you know that they're disconnected.
Absolutely.
Or they feel unseen. So
right.
I guess the best way is not to necessarily fix them, but just notice them and just kind of acknowledge, hey, how are you doing? I noticed that you were quiet. Are you okay? Or, how are you doing? Kind of opening the door back to them, not judging them or
Right.
making them rush right back in.
Right.
You
Like,
know,
I was talking. Why aren't you paying
why aren't you
attention?
back in? Right. Right.
You know, that's where we might go, but we should try not to.
Yeah, but it often is something that's, whether, well, do you mind if I go in that little bit of a direction? Okay.
I don't even
Sometimes
know where you're going to go.
okay, you don't know.
Go ahead.
Sometimes when people feel unseen, they might have heard something or something was shared and it wasn't acknowledged or they were overlooked or something like that. So sometimes those things might have happened prior to it and you might not have noticed it. But just to try to be aware that sometimes people disconnect for safety. So it's not that they're bad, right, or wrong. They're wanting to feel safe in that moment of where they are. So
Right. And if they're unseen and unheard,
then they don't
feel safe.
No.
No. That pretty much goes hand in hand with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in your sense with your team, did awareness of power dynamics influence your sense of belonging?
That's a funny one. So it depends on the dynamic, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So awareness of power dynamics is a wonderful awareness to have because you can see it coming.
Like how?
My time at the city. Oh my gosh. When you're run by a narcissist,
Oh, okay.
oh my gosh, does it change everything? Yeah. I mean, you have a series of yes men in powerful positions that only tell that person yes. I mean, that is not a welcome environment for any sort of critical thinking. And
Really shuts you down. I don't want to, yeah.
Absolutely. It shuts you down. Yeah. Oh, I hated working there because of that. It just feels uncomfortable, And I got that as well at Stantec. The power dynamic was one that I wasn't used to. I didn't like it. And I actually began to question it because I was told one thing when I interviewed. And then after I was there about a year, I went to the boss and I'm like, okay, this is what y'all told me, but this is not what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing this team environment that you purport in the interview. And he's like, okay. And he wasn't an architect. He was a structural engineer. So he didn't see things from exactly my perspective, but similar. And he was very accepting of this concept. So Stantec wasn't always bad. Stantec was fine for the first 2 years. Last 3 years sucked. He asked me to be his litmus test. So we were going to meet like every quarter, and I would tell him if I was seeing changes that actually brought about what they told me, what I was expecting. And then at the end of year 2, he left. He got pushed off to
It all changed, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he got asked to go lead another office they were opening up in Pennsylvania. So he left. And then the person that took his place as office manager, I don't believe belonged in that position. And she had no desire to change anything. And it became evident that that was the case. So my nasty 3 years presumed, just kept going. And it's like, God, why am I here? And of course, it took the universe to say, no, don't keep doing this. And they fired me, or they laid me off because of COVID. And it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Because you got to be your own boss.
Well,
Kinda.
Yeah. I'm still not my own boss because I don't pay myself. My own boss that doesn't pay. Yeah, that's great, but those bosses get tiresome after a while. Yeah. So it's my turn to ask you a question. What stories from your own life taught you the most about inclusion and exclusion?
Oh, which one do you want me to start with?
Just pick one. All you need is one. I know it says stories, but you don't need a bunch of stories.
I mean, I've had several. I mean, everybody goes through all of these stories in their life of, especially as kids, you're not on my team, you know, or we want you to be on our team.
Right, but we don't want him.
But we don't want him, or we don't want to pay you. That's the other one.
Right.
But I mean, they're all different. It just depends on where. But the kind of what I've gotten the most about inclusion and exclusion is usually a belief system. Mm-hmm. Somehow they have a belief system that you're worthy or you're not good enough, or that you are worthy and you are good enough. And so it just depends on where that's kind of coming from or whom that is sharing that with you. So we've talked a lot about inclusion as this idea, but it's really something we're learning through our experiences. And every time we go through one of these experiences, we either feel excluded or included. Right. And there become a teaching moment for us about belonging. Mm-hmm. So what are the things about belonging is that I feel cared for, I feel seen, loved. I have friends that are, sending all kinds of things because they care about me for the loss of my mother, and I belong in that group with them. They're loving me, and they're having good conversations with me. So anyway, so to me, those are kind of like those teaching moments that we have. That's what I see those are. Mm-hmm.
Like you want this, you don't want that kind of thing. And what is it about this you liked, and what is it about this you didn't like? Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, cool. How's curiosity, the role of curiosity, play in helping people feel like they belong? What do you think?
I have a personal story that comes from this too. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh! See, everything that happens to you is a story. It's crazy. So, in this story, starting with curiosity is so important, because in my house, this is a house that I've had since 2017.
Yeah.
I'm used to doing things a certain way. I'm very much that kind of person that gets stuck in their little rut. And I now have a housemate. Mm-hmm. And she is lovely. She's my best friend. And I'm glad she's there. And we learn so much from each other. Well, one of my learning moments was she was cooking in the kitchen, and she was making pancakes for us. And I poked my head in, and I know I didn't do it consciously, but I screwed up my face, and I said, "What are you doing?" And it was just full of judgment. Oh my God. And I didn't even know I was doing it, but I did it, and it was full of judgment. And she was like, "What? Why do you talk to me like that? What?" And so she explained to me what she heard, and then I was able to see it, not immediately, but a few days later. And
so it's the timing, the tone, the facial gestures,
facial expressions. Yeah, because we talk with our faces too, and our hands. Yeah. Our bodies give stuff away.
Or the absence of us as well. You didn't even come in and help me. How dare you?
Oh, well, right, but we don't help each other in the kitchen.
No, I'm just...
Yeah, it's not big enough for that.
Right.
Yeah, and we understand that. So, right. Yeah, but silence could be also, like the silent treatment. Mm-hmm. There's something wrong.
Mm-hmm. They even wanted to talk to me.
Right. Yeah, it's... Curiosity is really important. Mm-hmm. And so I have to train myself to start with curiosity, because that's a different look on my face, because my face gives me away. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I could not back my way out of that one. Yeah, it's that's life as a human. Mm-hmm. So, what makes a community safe enough for honesty and growth?
Well, just kind of backing or kind of adding to your little talk or your little story there
about judgment
about
and curiosity.
judgment and curiosity. Sometimes truth doesn't help it at all. Because I'm going to tell you, like, you didn't help me,
Right.
Might be
that is the truth.
That is the truth, but that might not be, it doesn't create that safe,
helpful.
right, the safe space.
Right.
So safety doesn't always mean comfort. I mean, it's really about having the trust there. It's the,
trust and respect.
Trust and respect for that connection.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the trust goes out, then, your body is changing because it's fearful that you're going to hurt or harm me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to be on my defenses in everything
Right.
that I do. And
Right.
so
if I have no trust.
it's really hard to build back trust because, if you lose that trust, it's like you can't just add it back by getting it from Amazon or something. So
No. You got to build it with the person you lost it with.
Right, but that would be a kind of a good business to have. We're going to give you back trust.
Right.
So growth can only happen where curiosity is stronger than our judgment. And so that's how you start to build back that. And you have to do it with consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And part of what you're looking to do is use listening skills. And listening skills, a lot of people don't know what those are. And that means just listening. You're not offering advice. You're not trying to get them to do, you're not defending anything. You're just staying present to what is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a little experiment.
Okay.
Let's say I'm mad at you
Mm-hmm.
because you broke my trust. And now you're going to start defending or telling me, try to fix it.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I did.
No, you don't, but-
okay, we don't have that kind of
No.
detail.
just play with me here.
Okay.
I can't believe you didn't even offer to help me. You just didn't even do anything. I just can't trust you to be there when you say you're going to, and you just.
Right. I didn't say I was going to be there because you were in the kitchen, and the kitchen is kind of small, and I didn't think you wanted my help because, it's a tight space, and I just didn't.
Whatever.
It didn't occur to me. Oh my God, I'm in so much trouble.
Right. So when people start to hear the defense that comes up, they shut down.
Right.
I don't want to hear. They're not listening either. But a person that is there and listening. So when I said that, I don't need any help in the kitchen, and you thought that I didn't need any help in the kitchen with the cooking, that also meant no help in the kitchen for cleaning. Is that correct?
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
Because I fully believe if someone cooks, the other person cleans.
Oh, well, good. So I'm not going to help you clean up the next time.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
Right. All right. So other parts of that for honesty and growth is respectful honesty, truth that's offered with care and not necessarily as a weapon.
This is my truth.
Right.
Like it or not.
Right. And then, holding your accountability for if you make a mistake, or mistakes happen, kind of using that not with humility, but with awareness that, this repair is possible. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to have to use humility.
Yeah.
So
a little bit of H will go a long way.
Right. And then everybody has kind of like their own purpose that we are in life with together. Like you and I have this shared purpose that we're working on in helping people understand how to build community and how to build connection with others.
How to communicate
with each other. Because while our bodies physically can grow, we don't have to depend on that part. But this other part is we have to practice. We have to do some way to practice those skills. And it feels really scary because they might not have anybody to practice with, and they might not have anybody who's willing to risk those types of growth with each other. And so that's kind of how I see what makes a community safe was to have a lot of those types of things in them. So
cool. Yeah. Well, I tend to agree. You're asking me a question.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Sorry.
That's quite all right. We are still very human.
We're still very human.
Yeah.
So I already asked you about play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
but now we've been back around our physical spaces. The physical spaces mirror our emotional or psychological belonging. How do they? Like if you're
right. Yeah.
Oh, it's a hard one.
That is a hard one, actually. Because, so when I would design space, there were a lot of factors involved. There's what the client actually wants, what they voiced that they want. And there's also the practicalities of code and all the things that go into a building. And the systems that go into a building. Well, we need air conditioning, we need electrical, we need plumbing, you got to figure all that out. And this rarely ever enters into the conversation. Even when I was designing schools. I don't think I've ever had a client ask me, we really want this to be a space of belonging. They never use those words. So, wow. This is such a big deal, actually. And I mean, so many spaces that we have are awful. They're not warm and...
Well, we have the living room or the dining room.
Well,
those are...
Right.
Or the den.
Yeah, those are...
Comfortable spaces.
Implicate you to belong. It's like, this is belonging right here. Even if you're having people over that you don't really like.
For dinner.
Yeah. Of course, why do you do that?
Because we want to get to know them.
Right. Or maybe it's your husband's colleagues and you don't really like them very much, but you're going to do it anyway because you're a nice person. Yeah. So in my career, 30 years of being an architect, I have one building that I really, really loved. And the reason I loved it so much, not because it was cool to design it and it was cool to see it built and it was a very cool space, but because all the students who used it loved it. And that was what I wanted. And that reminded me why I was an architect. Actually, this was all in London. So it was such a beautiful space. And
what was it about the space?
Well, so it was an old quadrangle building with a courtyard in the side and inside. It was built in the 1940s, and it was part of a campus that was a 1940s building, a 1960s building, a 1970s building, and a 1950s building. So 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and it was the art and architecture building for University of Kingston, Kingston University. Sorry. And what made the space so cool is because they never used to use the courtyard. They put art objects out there, stuff that they built, and they would just leave it. And I never saw anybody out there. So we opened the building up to it. We basically internalized the entire courtyard. Had a beautiful roof over it, and all the treatments that we did were just gorgeous, and it really accentuated this central space. And then we turned what was the studios on the ground floor into their into the stacks and the study area. So this is their giant learning resource center, which used to be on the second floor, and it was where studios used to be. But studios,
so it really it was a collaborative space that brought people out into the
oh my God, it gave them, so what they had before was a very tight space with a very few tables so that they could work at, and doing community projects was really hard in it. This was different because the entire courtyard was tables and space that you could work in.
So it was when it's enough space that you're given.
you can blossom, and you can really
right.
do your thing. And they loved it. They're like, this is dope. This is sick. This is the best space I've seen in forever.
Wow.
I mean, yeah. And they wrote it all down. So they had put up a big piece of paper at the entrance and said, please tell us what you think of this.
Wow.
And then they took a picture of it and included it in this book that I have. And I'm like, yes, I just love all that. Because that's what...
That's kind of what you're doing as an architect.
That's what feeds me as being
right,
an architect,
right.
is basically making a space that the end user loves.
Right.
And there were other buildings that I did that the end user did love it. But, yeah, because of that project, I got invited back to work on more projects at that campus. Yeah.
You know what? A lot of people don't recognize that they're the architect for their own life.
Oh, absolutely.
And they miss putting all of these important spaces into their lives.
Right, right.
So one of these spaces is finding places to belong.
Uh-huh.
So that means building your communities like this, like your inner courtyard.
Right.
Finding some space like that. So.
Right. Well, it is different for people in their lives in that, well, they're not worried about the space. They're worried about the relationships. And knowing how to build those relationships. It's just something. It does. Right. It takes skills, and we don't have them.
Right. We don't pass them on.
Well, we have them, and we're trying to impart them to everybody else, but it's not taught in school. It's not taught in any school. Not college. Not high school. Not middle school. Not elementary. And so we're stuck trying to figure this stuff out on our own. And most people just walk around being shamed and judgmental and
right.
angry and, and I know y'all know people like this, right? Yeah, everybody's going, I
just want to get away from everybody. Right. Leave me alone.
Right. So... You, Kelly, when do you feel most at home in your own skin?
I guess...
when you're recording this podcast
with me? When I'm recording this podcast with you, right. I guess I'm okay with where I don't have to impress anyone. I don't think I have to... I'm comfortable with... I mean, it could be...
Where you can be yourself.
I can just be myself, and well, I kind of practice that anyway. I'm not really trying to,
right? You're not trying to be somebody else.
Performing for anybody else, right? So I guess that in that sense, I'm just kind of in a place with even my inner voice, that little itty bitty shitty committee. He's no longer. I just tell him thank you for sharing,
right?
Or her thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing. Bye.
Yeah. She doesn't live there anymore, so
right.
I guess it's what was that question again? Where do I feel the most at home in my own skin?
Yeah.
I guess it was just I'm not having to prove anything or.
Right, which is most of your life now. I mean, you're rarely in places where you have to prove anything, right?
Yeah. Right.
Which is the benefit of getting older.
Right.
We can learn how we actually want to progress our lives and do it.
Right. I'm in private practice, so I don't have to work for anybody else.
Right. Unlike some of us.
Yeah. Oh, well. So when you're working with me, where do you feel your strengths complement each other in helping each other belong?
This is not that easy of a question to answer.
I
mean, I think we work famously together because I think we're both on the same page. We agree with each other a lot on what our message is and what we want to do.
So we have a shared ideal of what we're trying to get out into the world.
Yeah, we have lots of shared meaning that guide us. And I think that's amazing. And actually, and it took a while for us to get to that point, right? I mean, we knew each other through We Practice Life. But then you invited me over.
Yeah.
And then we got to know each other. And then you invited me to a party. And then I got to meet your husband. And, you know, and it's just blossomed. And then we said, hey, let's create a workshop.
Well, sharing a little bit about what the workshop is. I used to have a teaching art studio, where I would help people come in and practice some connection skills with making something out of recycled materials as tall as me. I'm 5'3". And they had to take all of these materials and they had to put it together, construct it to whatever it was going to be. I've had people make the thinker, you know, with the phone to his chin. I've had people make the Eiffel Tower. They've made birds. They've made, let's see, what else did they make? They made trees. That was another one. They've made all kinds of structures and stuff, or something out of it. And then what I would do is I would listen to how they were connecting with each other and kind of give them some feedback about their team in that work environment. How does this work? And offer some ways for them to have more connection with each other. So it was a fun little way of connecting. And so this is what Geoff and I want to do, is to try to get back to building that team workshop in some ways, but doing it a little bit more. We can do it with some things like that if we wanted to, but just having more structured around our connection activities and how that looks like in a work environment.
Very cool. What is the connection between belonging and purpose? That's a big one.
So what do you think it is?
She does that all the time, I tell you what. I think that belonging gives you purpose. Because we naturally, as humans, want to connect with other humans. And with animals and with plants. I mean, we're connecting all the time. And I think that having people that you belong with helps. I think it helps you clear your head so you can find your purpose. Because we don't always know what our purpose is, right? I mean,
sometimes our purpose comes through suffering.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes it comes through being creative.
Right.
Sometimes it comes through that experiences that we might have.
Right.
But here's where I see kind of belonging. It gives purpose a home. You know, because I have lots of places that I belong, and that purpose fits in that belonging space and place. So,
very cool.
Yeah. So belonging is when we feel seen, and that seen or valued. Like I know I belong to my spouse. You know, I don't belong as a
right. You're not an object.
I'm not an object.
Right.
But it gives us our roots. It gives us our direction. It gives us that energy that sometimes fades when we know that we belong to this group. Like, especially like, you know, we're United States of America.
Oh, right.
You know,
yeah.
We're Americans. So in some sense, you know, we belong together.
Right.
But sometimes that starts to drift. Some.
Oh, yeah. Case in point.
Right.
Look out the window.
Right. So I'm not meaning to go in that direction. But anyway, so in some ways, belonging answers the question of where do I matter? And purpose is, you know, why do I matter?
Right.
I matter because I know that part of my direction is to support people in understanding what life is, because I've had that question for myself, and I'm curious about it. And if I'm curious about it, I'm pretty sure other people are curious about it.
Somebody else,
right? So if I can help contribute to that and make sense of that, that's where I belong.
Cool.
So,
right. Well, I like that. Two very different answers. Wow.
Sometimes that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, all right, so what's one story or symbol that captures belonging for you? So as a designer, a collaborator, or a friend?
I have to say Brooke Summers Perry. Because she just exudes belonging.
So if she was a story or a symbol, what would that be? A friend?
A friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So friends are really powerful for you.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. People are really powerful for me. Mm-hmm. And anyone who says that they're not is probably lying. I mean, really. Yeah. Because I thrive on connections. Mm-hmm. And connecting with other humans is what really makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. What is it about them that make you happy, specifically?
Well, it's connecting with them. It's getting to know them. Mm-hmm. It's creating that shared meaning between us. Mm-hmm. Because I'm talking about somebody new, right? Somebody that I haven't met yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So hearing about their lives or the struggles or whatever that is with them.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're willing to get vulnerable with me, I will get vulnerable back. And honestly, that is a fast track to trust. But
until it's broken.
Well, until it's broken, right? Well, just don't break people's trust,
and there's no tape that puts it back together. Sorry.
No, there is no magic tape. Yeah, just. Yeah, people are great. People can be mean, but generally speaking, they're wonderful. Mm-hmm. You know, when you actually dig into them, they're fabulous.
So you dig people?
I dig people, yeah. I really do. I dig people.
Oh, my goodness.
How do you nurture belonging when someone is struggling or defensive? That happens a lot.
Yeah. I see a lot of people struggling in my line of work. And some of them are defensive, especially with their family, because they've had to deal with addiction their whole life, and their family is not understanding why they're still not, just say no.
Right. Why can't you just say no?
Right. So it's just really how we hold that space and not trying to fix that person. So just really hearing and listening to them, staying calm and grounded in whatever is said. There's not a right or a wrong or a good or a bad. I guess just listening for what matters for them. Sometimes they're not able to say what matters because when they've tried to say what matters, they get redirected or told they shouldn't say that. Or sometimes when somebody's struggling or being defensive, I notice that they're trying to meet that need to feel safe. And so just letting them, kind of nurturing where they are at that moment, that I don't need to, kind of uncover what's going on for them, just to let them have that at that time. But even with like somebody like in family, or somebody struggling with something, I don't need to fix it or blame them for what's going on for their life. They're just dealing with whatever is coming up for them.
And they're the only ones that can deal with it, right? Well,
let me just share something that's kind of hard for a lot of people. We all have our own family of origin issues. And it doesn't matter where you are in your life or what's happened, but you still have your own family of origin issues. And your parents did the best they could with whatever the skills and tools they had at that time. And now it is your turn to work on your own stuff. So, not kind of keep blaming your parents or
or your teacher,
or your teacher, or your friend, or an ex, or right. So
don't blame anybody.
No. So, kind of helping them get back to that feeling safe with whatever somebody. Again, struggling for me is a sign that a teacher is present. So what am I supposed to...
That struggle is the teacher.
The struggle is the teacher. What am I supposed to learn from this struggle? So communicating more efficiently maybe, or recognizing that two truths can happen at the same time.
Right.
You know? So...
Yeah, there's always something to learn.
Right. Michael and I are teaching contradictory truths at the Young Center.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, that's coming up in November.
Awesome.
Yep.
Contradictory truths. Yes, that's the way we live.
It comes up all the time. All the time.
Right. If this is true, how can this be
How can
true?
that not be true?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy.
So what happens when people confuse conformity with belonging? I mean, we got that a lot from school systems. So what did you experience in that?
Well, I've never been a huge conformer. And I'm glad for that. But, yeah, well, because school is constantly trying to get you to conform. And if it's not the school itself, it's your peer group, you know. Conform. Do it as we say, or you're a loser, or the favorite insult when I was in junior high was "you're so gay," and I'm just like, I know. Well, it's funny, right? But how can that be so derogatory?
I know.
How can that be that? I don't understand. But that's because that's where it went through. Because this was, middle school, right? So this is early 80s. We were still very much in that. I mean, AIDS didn't technically exist right until 1990 because Ronald Reagan ignored it. And yeah, that was the 80s for us. Yeah, thank you, Ronnie. So yeah. I think I've answered that.
Well,
I don't like conformance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I ask you now. We're just human. What do you think people most misunderstand about belonging?
I think they think belonging means fitting in.
Oh, conforming.
Right.
The exact opposite.
Right.
Oh my gosh. That just breaks my heart.
Belonging, and to me, what belonging is, it's inviting ourselves to be who we are and fully welcome, no matter what shows up. I was sad to hear about a university trying to get rid of gay and lesbian discussions at their university at the request of our governor.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean...
that little wheelchair maggot. Sorry.
So... we get into a place. Anyway, I don't want to be in that space about attacking somebody, but I don't know what goes on for that person either.
Right.
But it's just why is it about people that we can't accept?
We can't accept differences.
We can't accept differences. Why do we have to say that if you're different? Or you have to be the same in order to belong, or
or don't talk about being different because we don't accept that, or don't have books about it because we don't accept that. Yeah, it's like an extreme homogeny that they're after. Right.
I think it deepens for us when we allow differences to take place, That when a group can hold these multiple truths without losing that respect or curiosity for each other.
That's
very
what magical.
Yeah. So being a part of something is feeling safe, but I wouldn't want that to be... I mean, I can get and understand why some people don't want to belong to a certain group of people because they have a shared belief system that hurt and harm other people. And so that makes sense for me. About I wouldn't want to belong to that either. So,
yeah.
And there's all sorts of conflicting information that we might not be aware of that's embedded in all of that together. And so I guess when we kind of notice when something's happening, then we can make that decision to move or go a different direction. So, well,
cool.
How are you? Are you in a good space? Have we let people know who we are yet?
I think we have, actually.
Okay.
I think
because we're at a good.
We're.
We made you listen for a whole hour. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Right. Why would you make somebody listen for a whole hour? I
know.
Well, because we're belonging, right? We're about belonging.
Right. Well, and this is not the longest podcast out there.
No.
There are plenty that are longer.
3 hours.
Oh, 3 hours.
I know.
Oh, I just cannot. I just can't get stuck into a conversation and listen to the whole thing like that.
Yeah.
So next week, we are going to help people for the holidays.
Right.
We are going to talk about how to visit with your families if there's an issue or if you are anxious about it, and how to bring you back down to this world and get you through the door.
Right.
Yeah.
Stay curious. Well,
don't give it away yet.
No.
They gotta be back next week.
Right. As we close today, we hope our conversation about belonging isn't something you just listen to once. I mean, of course, you're going to listen to it, but something that you
take with you.
Take you with you, kind of, and share it with others if you need to, or.
Yeah.
Because all these questions that we asked each other are questions you can ask yourself. Where do I feel most at home in my own skin?
Right.
Or what can I do to help somebody else feel that way too? So, anyway, we appreciate you listening this long, and
we do.
We thank you for joining us for Blueprints for Belonging.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Blueprints for Belonging. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow. Leave a 5-star rating for us and share it with a friend.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Your support helps us keep building conscious connection in this disconnected world.